Alright, well today I'm going to give a review of the big bulky abomination that is this Vinci 1.0 Pro printer. Let's get started here. Okay, so my first problem was that the pneumatic tube, it doesn't stay in. It has a hard time staying in because the fitters right here, they don't keep this thing in. I have to super glue it from this point if it would focus. Yeah, I had to super glue it into the fitter for it to even stay in. And at one point, I found this thing unscrew itself and mess up my entire print one time. I don't know how it did that. This machine astonishes me in every way possible because it just finds a way to mess up my print every time that I'm not home. And another problem I have with it is that, oh, this isn't actually supposed to be out here, but this right here is supposed to be right here. I have to use zip ties to keep the ass end of the pneumatic pump or whatever, the pneumatic tube into this spot right here because it does not stay in here unless I zip tie it down. And if I don't zip tie it down correctly, then it will always do this. Now check this out. So this is what happens if you don't zip tie it down. It just shoots filament everywhere, and it will mess up your print. You'll be halfway through it, and yeah, it's kind of horrible. So this isn't really the only problem I have with this printer. I also had another problem that I could easily fix, but I had to look online. It wasn't in the instruction manual. It was the SD card. The SD card isn't very good. I had to replace it, and so what happened before I replaced the SD card is that I would always get errors in my print, either halfway through, but these errors would cause the print to stop, and I would have to restart the print all over again, causing me to waste filament. And it was just a huge pain because you could never tell when this would happen. You couldn't. So that's another problem I had. After I replaced the SD card, I never had that problem again. But another problem I had was that I wanted to start printing at higher temperatures. So this printer can only go up to 245 degrees max. Even if you were to replace the brass nozzle, you would still only be able to print up to 245 degrees due to the firmware. Well, you can't replace the firmware. Therefore, even if you were to replace it with like the E3 D6 full metal hot end or whatever, you would just be wasting potential. You can't print over 245 degrees, which really makes me mad. But also, I mean, you could print abrasive materials. I mean, hey, let's look on the bright side of things. But also, the filament that is like branded to this printer. Let me see if I can find it. This stuff right here, it's kind of trash. It messes up all the time. So I'm just using like Polymax. I'll do another video reviewing Polymax, but for right now, the Vinci 1.0 Pro printer is a 50-pound abomination that I've been using for 9 months, and I honestly feel like I should just transfer over to the CR10. All right, later.